So this is the last day in Chicago. I'm going up for the last time towards downtown Chicago, over there in the far. And yeah, I'm starting the day one of New York City or Bust, following the tracks of Willard Motley, or Chasing Horizons, on a bicycle. And today, first going up towards downtown Chicago to hit a couple of areas that are important to Willard Motley's life. The first spot is a church, or the site of a church rather, where he grew up, or where rather he didn't grow up in the church, but he went to school as a kid. That was the only African-American school in Chicago. And then I'm going to head down south towards Michigan City after swinging by Englewood first, just the corner of Englewood, which is the area where he grew up. Flat tire number one, after doing the loop around Chicago to get... I got my first flat tire, so since I didn't take all my bags yet, because crossing bridge number one. Yeah, in industrial Chicago. So keeping going, a few miles in, many miles to go. So I'm on the US 20 for a moment. That's exactly the road that he saw. Pretty sure he didn't see these graffitis though, and now I turned off the US 20, and so for a moment I was exactly on this path. For a little while I'm going to be somewhere else than where Willard traveled, because in the 1930s the interstate and interstate like roads did not exist yet, but right now the US 20 for a little while in south of Chicago and for a while in Indiana is really more of an interstate like big highway with, you know, multiple lanes. And so of course I'm not gonna ride my bike there. Bridge number two. So I'm now at Walla Beach, I think it was called. And so we are on the south shore of the Michigan Lake in Indiana. We have view on the plants over there, some of the beach behind me. Yeah, that's in like a little bit of wildflowers, things like that growing all around. It's very nice. Lots of bushes, a little bit of these purple beautiful flowers. There were some black-eyed Susan or something like this. These yellow ones coming up. And yeah, since I'm here, the problem is they made this little thing, I guess probably flood prevention or something like that, so I don't get a good view on the water. Maybe with the camera out like that. We'll see. We'll see you later. I am literally right behind these smokestacks. Is this Gary, Indiana over there? I was wondering if I would be right behind a few days ago, and that was a good prediction, I guess. Next bridge, a little tiny little creek on that bike path. Now I'm pretty sure it's a rail trail, given that we're elevated compared to the road and the landscape around. That's usually what happens when they build the rail lines in the past, to make it flat and easier for the train to go quick. I was going to take a little video on each bridge, but I realized I skipped a couple of them. Actually, I skipped 3 of them, I think, but 2 of them were over railroad tracks, or 3 of them were over railroad tracks, and 1 over a river, and I didn't even notice it until I was already crossed, but I just remembered on this one. So I'm now at Walla Beach, I think it was called, and so we are on the south shore of the Michigan Lake in Indiana. We have view on the plants over there, some of the beach behind me. Yeah, that's, and like a little bit of wildflowers, things like that growing all around. It's very nice. Lots of bushes, a little bit of these purple, beautiful flowers. There were some black-eyed Susan or something like this. These yellow ones coming up. And yeah, since I'm here, the problem is they made this little thing, I guess, probably flood prevention or something like that. So I don't get a good view on the water, maybe with the camera out like that. We'll see. We'll see later. I passed through already all of Chicagoland and then turned into Indiana, past Gary, and I'm somewhere a little bit past Gary here. And I'm gonna, you know, continue all the way to Michigan City. Well, stay for the night tonight. So it's lunch break. Found this area with probably some commercial wildflower mix, which is not really wildflowers, but they're poppies. I don't think they're native to the area, but anyway. Yeah, I've done about 35 miles so far, so I'm just about halfway done. It's been a little bit over 2 hours, so I've gone at a quite reasonable clip. I'm probably going to slow down because I'm just reminded that I told myself that I'm going to try to go around 10 miles an hour or so, which obviously I've been a little faster than that. So every day I'm going to try to find a space that is at least somewhat significant to Willard's journey that I'm following, and I'm literally 17 miles from the end of my ride, and I'm going to end in Michigan City, in one of the areas just outside of Michigan City. And on the side of the road I just saw this tree stump and these different bits and pieces of wood that were, I suppose, recently chopped. And I remembered that in his journal there is a passage that says how he's sitting on a tree stump at the doors of Michigan City. So I'm going to read that to you. Well, here I'm sitting on the stump. Oh, okay, I'm going to start over. Well, here I am, sitting on the stump of an old tree off the highway, just at the door of Michigan City, Indiana, with a broken pedal, without a partner, and at a place where some would be ready to go back. I have just been across the state line to a small filling station where I got a drink. A young nice fellow of 17 showed me how to work the pump. I always had an aversion for well water, but well water never tasted better. So that's the little passage that made me think of. Luckily for me, I do not sit on a tree stump because I have a broken pedal. Since the morning, or after the first few miles, I had a flat tire. But yeah, I was still in Chicago and going to go back where my partner is staying. So I was able to go and repair with no problem. and since then I haven't really had a problem. And so I just saw the stump, it made me think of this passage of the journal. Okay, 2.4 miles to go. All right, the rain won.